So, multiple different size screwdrivers. One really small, one medium. It's not even a big Phillips. Yes, it is. Got this graphics card with the box and all. So happy about that. With the no power limit mod, should be nice too. Should perform pretty good. Now, one thing to worry about when doing with a GT, like the EVGA model here. So underneath right here, if I can show on the screen, this screw, there's two of them. This screw though, right here has a nut. So you have to use your finger to hold that. So you flip it over. And on the other side, you just put your finger like so. There's a screw for that. There's the nut. And then this side here does not have one. I'll be taking off everything off this board. Just makes it easier for soldering. So, then this one here. And all these screws here are the same. And that's the bracket. It's good to take off the bracket first, in my opinion. So, another thing we gotta worry about too when doing this is these screws right here, which are in a really weird spot. Competition, Hardware Bot Team Cup 2025. These screws are nice to have a nice thin, small screwdriver for these ones. Now we have to do this one over here. Now we're going to worry about taking off these connectors. What I like to do is just do the connectors side by side. So you just do one side, then the other, and just wiggle it loose a bit there so it's easy. do one side than the other. Makes it easier. I'll take off these ones after. That's the main one, though, I like to take off. It's for the LEDs. Should be it for the screws there that we got to worry about. Oh, yeah, and this one right here. And the one on the side. Oh, that could have happened. Also, like I said, did you reseat the CPU? Because if you didn't seat it right, or, you know, it's just not making good contact, the actual one memory channel might not be working. Happens. Voila. So there's the cooler. There's the card. And then I'm going to have to take off, like I said, the whole back plate and all that. So that way I can take off the rest. There's the cooler. I'm just going to clean up the silicone thermal paste. Yeah, reseat the CPU. It could be the issue. Happens. It just happens. Even just reseating it. It's AMD with their PGA, the pin grid array. Sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. Same thing with LGA. It happens as well. Guess I'll clean up the core while I'm at it. There we go. And then we'll get rid of this. And now, would I have to take off their nice ACX cooler. So that means all of these screws. And there is a few of them. There goes a screw. Shouldn't be anything holding that on. Go. Thermal pads on that. Little bit of dust. Little bit of dust. I could show that. Just a little bit. Not too bad. And you see where it's darker, where it's not dark, there's just a little bit of dust. See, I don't think I gotta water cool it. It doesn't get too hot, but we'll see what kind of scores I get. I'm pretty close to the water-cooled score right now, but I was doing the test while I was like almost 40°C in my room, so... So, yeah. It was quite warm. But I think, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if I water-cool it or not. If I water-cool it, it'd just be like an odd way of doing it anyways. It doesn't get terribly warm. The guy after the test, it was hitting 50°C. Which isn't terrible. I'll just, if I do water cool, it'll just be like strapping an AIO to it basically. With some clamps. Some clamps. Yeah, those don't do anything. Don't need to worry about these, I don't think, if I remember correct. Okay. Should. In theory. Yeah. I hear you there. What does no power limit mod do performance-wise? So generally with your graphics card, you're not voltage limited. You're generally hitting a power limit before you hit voltage limit, which means I can get a higher clock rate if there's no power limit, because I can technically utilize the actual voltage for the core. Oh, oh, oh boy! I'm gonna need something to lift that. Plastic razor to the rescue. Slowly. So, Main thing you want to do when the thermal pads are sticking pretty good, you just gotta put some tension. See how that's like lifting that corner? You just gotta put some tension. You're not gonna crank it. If you crank it, you can bend the plate. So there's no need to do that, right? So just lift slowly. Lift slowly, and things will start to just peel away. I'll do the other side here. And then I feel it going, so I don't need that anymore. Oh, thank you very much. No problem, man. That's what I'm here for. And then we got another plug for the LED. We'll just lightly take that off. We'll bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. There we go. It's there. And it's got like a little foam pad just to make sure it's nice and even. And it's got more thermal pads. They're not the greatest thermal pads on this. If I had the money, I would be redoing the pads. But I mean, they do the job. Hopefully, Kingpin does his magic. I don't think he did a deal. I don't think he did a deal with PNY. I don't think there was ever a finalized deal on that, and I don't think he's gonna be working for PNY. If you've been keeping up with that, last time that I was keeping up with that, there was no deal made. Things could have changed, yeah, but as far as what I know from what I keep up, and I keep up on all this kind of stuff, hardware leaks, news about overclockers, and all that, as far as I know, he did not cut a deal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's due to the fact he wasn't, he didn't make a deal with PNY. Again, as far as I know. And we get the nice horsehair brush here. It's a very, very soft brush. And we're just gonna leave a little dust. Again, I could be wrong on that. Maybe they did reach a deal. As far as I know, they did not reach a deal last time that I heard from him. Okay, we got it a little bit cleaner. A little bit nicer. Okay, so next step. The ACX cooler. Which I'm gonna need the handy dandy plastic razor blade again. Come on, buddy. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna hold that up a bit. And I'll show you what I'm doing. See how that's like slightly making a gap. Just hold it. And then things will just loosen. That way you don't have to peel too hard. Oh, yeah, that was actually not too bad. Not too bad. So last time I did do this, I put some pretty good thermal paste on this. So I'm going to try my best not to get it too dirty. So it's actually not in half bad shape still. That's like $10 worth of thermal paste on that. Alright, so these are the 5 MOs. I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I'm going to look for the actual controller and do it my way. The way I like to. That's if. Oh, it's split on me. That's why I don't like these cheap thermal pads at all. So I don't like cheap thermal pads. Hopefully he gets a new home. Yeah, that'd be nice, right? I hope so. I hope so. I just don't care for what he's been doing lately. I don't. But it was, bikes and that. You should be doing more overclocking. I get it if you don't have the kind of money to be doing it, but I don't have the kind of money he does, and that's all I do. I mean, a lot of people don't. I guess a lot of people don't know about Galax. Galax in the Hall of Fame. Like if they start, people are more universal and cultured through AIBs and that. They would know Galax makes insanely good overclocking cards, designed for LN2. EVGA is awesome. Yeah, EVGA is awesome. They're a well-known brand. Vince made EVGA, and actually, it's not just Vince. It's also Tin. Tin, the mad genius. Like, he literally was. Just give me one sec here. Just go look. Okay. So what I'm seeing is that could be a regulator. Standard way to the 12 pins. I mean, is 2R2 gonna work that way? It should work. Just I don't have 2R2s that big. I'll have to desolder some more 2R2s by the looks of it. Some big 2R2s. I agree with you on the cheap thermal pads because they're cheap and they're good thermal pads. They are, and the good thermal pads, the ones I'd like to recommend, especially if they're from Thermal Grizzly. Then you also got the green ones, the cryos. Give me one second. I need tweezers. Right. Yeah, if one's from Thermal Grizzly, yeah, they're not cheap, but I mean, if you do this kind of stuff and take apart the card and that, you wouldn't see this. You wouldn't see them splitting like this. They won't split. Plus, they don't leak a whole lot of silicone oil. That's like in these cheaper ones. And that's all on all cards from factory, these cheaper ones. They gotta save money somewhere, right? I mean, they work. They work, they do their job. Do they do it well? No. No, it's like the lazy people at work kind of thing. Okay, so there's a 2R2. Yeah, not even close to the size I need. Very unfortunate. He made some parts for OC that no one would have thought of. Yep, you got that right. Yep. Tin was an absolute madman. He's a genius. He literally is. He's awesome. He's an awesome guy. So these 2R2s are not even big enough for what I need. I'm gonna check some donor boards and see what I can find off of them. That honestly sucks pretty bad. Really hoping it would have been a little bit easier. course, I don't have them here. The video Jay done with Kingpin taking him around. What about Gamers Nexus one? That was actually a pretty good one. RO20s, and those still aren't even big enough what I need, to be honest, so those are probably giving it a no go. I should get my multimeter out too. Okay, so I'm gonna move this to the side. Well, voila. We'll move this to the side as well. It looks like I could technically do that controller board, which this right here is just a readout board. Just give me one sec here. Show you what I'm saying here. Way I like to do it too. So right here, you got your standard way, right? You got your standard way here. Which you just piggyback shunt on top of these. So right here, piggyback shunt onto these. These are 5 MOs. And these go right to each 8-pin. That goes to that 8-pin, that goes to that 8-pin. I do believe this one goes to PCI Express. But then you also got the controller board, which is a readout for what kind of wattage it's actually hitting, right? And you got these little guys right here around it. So you got this, this, and this. Which, if you piggyback shunt on these, which I like to use 2R2s on top of these little guys, yeah, it's nice and small. But I mean, piggyback shunting on this big bad boy that takes a lot more heat, takes a little bit more time, more prep work, basically. Or if you've got some steady hands onto these little guys, it's quite easy to do. That's what I look for. I look for the controller board. Yeah, I'm probably gonna grab a multimeter and make sure those are pretty accurate. Force on the board, not gonna work. Of course not. Why would it want to do that? Why would it want to? Boys here. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is the controller board here. Allows to figure out what kind of wattage it's using. And then I can shunt on top of these little bad boys. Let me zoom in for you so you can really see what I'm doing. Alright, so that way you can really see what I'm doing now. So I tested the 5 MOs since controller board's kind of being a bit of an issue. It's basically reading 0.3, which isn't correct. But if you go over to these little bad boys, you can read the resistance off of them. And they are reading 41.4. Maybe if I hold on to it, it'll go up. Should go up. 41.4. 45. And 44.4. So they're maybe all over the place because they are on the board. It's one thing when you're reading stuff on the board like this, because due to the fact that it's going through controllers and other resistors, basically, it's not going to be as accurate as if you desoldered them and tested it that way. And I shown that with when I was desoldering 2R2s for my shunt mods. So yeah, I will piggyback on those with these little 2R2s. Knocked it off. So I'll use these little 2R2s the way I like to do it. There we go, right there. Two R2s. How's it going, Gary? I'm doing good. Hopefully the busy's good for you, though. Yeah, and how did you manage to do that? Alright, so I need to plug the soldering iron in, get it warmed up. If anyone has questions, let me know. We just want to talk. Faulty Seesaw PSU? Now that's a rare case. That's a rare case, man. I'm glad you got it figured out, and I'm glad nothing got destroyed. That's wild. Seesaw PSU was faulty, though. Yeah, I'm just getting the soldering all set up. Swapped it out to a Be Quiet. Nice. So, warming up the soldering iron. It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a hot minute. And you figured it was the power supply. It's why it's good to have extra hardware around. You can really go through, see what the issue is for something. Yeah, you get some flux. Camera up a bit better here. Yeah, not gonna lie, me either. Because it's Seasonic, right? Have you checked it over with a multimeter? Or if you're careful with that, I don't recommend doing it, of course, but like, are you sure it's no good? I'm using a OBS bot. Yeah, it's just on a tripod right now. Yeah, OBS bots, it's called. So what I'm gonna do is just warm it up. So we're gonna need 1 2R2, and these are 2R2s that are very accurate. I've already gone over these 2R2s. Just grab them all here. So there's 1 2R2, there's 2R2, 2R2, and there's another 2R2. And a 2R2 is literally just meaning 2.2 ohms. So our soldering iron all heated up now. Gonna do a little touchy touch here. I'm gonna do this one first because it's our orientation that I need. So you need some soldering iron. You sent it back? That's good. There's no sense of having it, right? If it doesn't work. Plus, it's probably under warranty too, right? It should be under warranty. Let's turn around the board, make things easier. How's it going by? You can, yeah, basically. My big head's not in the way here. Good. Look. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. So now I have to flip the card around here. Make sure I don't bury my 2R2s here. Door 2. These little guys, but it's fine. So that's one done. Oh boy, need more room. Again, I went through 2R2s to make sure they're very accurate 2R2s. Yeah, move the... So there we go. And I'm going to do one side. So what I'm going to do is this side on both. This one here and this one over here. Flip the board around. La beautiful. The one's slightly crooked, but it's not bad. Everything's soldered nicely, good connection. That's the main thing. I'm gonna grab a toothbrush now, clean that up. So again, this is the way I like to do it. It's not for everybody for doing this anyways. Again, you know how you watch Gamers Nexus, also the Bauer. They shunt mod on top of the mains that come right off of the actual power in, the 8 pins. I do it off shunt mod off of the smaller components. And I found a way again. This is my way, the way I found out that works good. Does not put for every graphics card that I've done this to, it does not put it into a limp mode. And you can see, like on idle, you might see 0.03 watts to 0.07 watts at idle. And on load, with the GTX 1070, I did the math for it, was perfect. On full load, there would only be, it's supposed to hit like 200, around 200 watts. On full load, though, I did the calculation for it. It was supposed to do about 21 to 23 watts, and it was perfect. It literally is right around that 21 to 23 watts, and that gave me lots of room. Now, having that extra room for the power limit makes it so that way I can do a core voltage mod later on. Now the core voltage mod has to go on to, give me 1 second, I'll look for the controller board for it. Is it on the backside on this one? Nope. Yep. Right here. And you got to, basically, you're going to take the orientation. There's a little arrow. Stay on there, thermal pad. Let's make sure you guys can hear me all right. So here is for if you're doing core voltage mod right here. This bad boy. And then there's a little orientation. You can see this little arrow up there. And then you're going to do the arrow off of that, and you count certain amount of pins. This is one of the hardest things. The core voltage mod is one of the hardest. And you're going to have to do some soldering right onto one of these pins here. I do believe it's either the 4th or 5th pin from the arrow down. That's for voltage in. Then you can just find a ground and solder to the ground. EVC is also a good one, but you're still going to have to solder to the actual controller board. And yeah, that's one of the hardest mods. Core voltage mod. Then you also got memory mod. Memory voltage mod. But there you go. And then we'll start assembling this card. I'll throw it in the system, get the video capture device all set up so everyone can see it working, show the actual wattage that it's showing. I'm hoping it's only going to show like maybe 1 watt on idle, right around 1 watt per connector. And then you don't have to do all 3, okay? Like, it's not like you have to do all 3. All 3 correspond. 2 of them go to the actual 2 8-pin power in, and the other one goes to PCI Express. I don't really worry about, I mean, it's fine. I don't worry that, oh, the PCI Express is going to use more power. It doesn't. It doesn't, from what I've tested. It doesn't, like, oh yeah, because, you know, you can only do 75 watts. My board can do over 100 watts through the PCI Express. But that's not the point. The point is, it's not going to hurt your motherboard or graphics card for my testing. If you do all 3, it's not like it matters really on PCI Express. All the power really is going to be going through the 8 pins anyways. So not much of concern, at least for me. And yeah, as you can see, the pink stuff, that's all KPX. That's like almost $10 worth of, or not KPX, Thermal Grizzly Extreme Cryonaut. And yeah, I'm going to try to keep that on there. That's why I didn't really clean up too much onto it. I will clean it up a little bit though. Just because, yeah, that's expensive stuff. And It works really good on the memory. And I can't do a copper mod on this because of the way the cooler's designed, the ACX cooler on these EVGA 4113s, unfortunately. I'm just going to clean up some of this dust just to make it look a little bit prettier. And always a little bit less dust for the next time I take it apart, because I will be taking this card apart again, and because that's kind of what I do. It's just what I do. Yeah, one sec. Well, my hair's got around one of the big resistors. Just want to take that out. Make sure everything's nice and clean here. Make sure I scrub stuff. And yeah, you don't, again, if you're cleaning stuff up like a toothbrush or something, you don't put a whole lot of weight. You just take your time cleaning it up. I'm just trying to get some of the silicone oil off of these VRMs. It looks pretty good though. Pretty clean. Pretty clean. And I didn't dirty up the thermal grizzly, which is the main thing. Okay, so let's get this card back up and running. Alright, so we are going to have to put on the ACX cooler. This is the special cooler. That's the ACX is really what this is. This is the ACX cooler, really. Alright? If anyone doesn't know, that's what this really is. That's the ACX cooler. Sorry, ACX. ICX cooler. My apologies. Oh, I'm calling ACX. It's the ICX cooler. Well, it's part of it. It's two-part. It's a two-part. It's the first part of it. Okay. Nice. Looking good. Just wanted to clean it up a bit before I put it back on. Now I'm going to put this on. So, I got to check to make sure the shunt mod for that piggyback does not touch the extra cooler. Oh yeah, we got plenty of room. Plenty. Perfect. But what I might want to do is put a thermal pad on that. Might put a thermal pad on it. It should be alright. I'll check it, see while we're testing it, see how it does. Might want a thermal pad on it, but it looks like it'll be aight. I think it'll be aight. And what we're going to do is just going to squeeze this bad boy down. So that way all the thermal pads stick to it. So that way when I flip it over, I don't have to worry about it falling off. Voila. Clean that out. A little bit of dust. And then we're going to grab part 1. Part uno. And make sure it lines up good. Voila. That's all we gotta do here. Just put a few in. Just to make sure everything stays where it should. And I could put it down and start putting it together. Instead of holding it. I just want the two-part to really move on me. Looks like I need to shift it a bit. There we go. It's more like it. Okay. Let me set that down because there's a lot of screws, okay? A lot. So, you can just take your time doing this. It's not like it's the hardest thing to do. Again, I showed you the shunt mod. It's the way I like to do the shunt mods. Again, 2R2s is kind of what you want to use. I have old videos show it on EVGA graphics card, other EVGA graphics cards like a GTX 1070. Again, like I said, I will be showing the testing. I'll be later on tonight when I'm really going for the good scores too, though. Again, I only got a second place right now. I'm gonna try to go against first place. The first place is against a water-cooled GTX 1080 Ti, so that's one thing that I have to beat is a water-cooled one. I think I'll be able to do it. Got pretty close. I only get a couple thousand more points. And this shunt mod should help me achieve that. Except for one thing I forgot. So I'll have to take all these screws back out. Got the connector for it. For the EVGA light up. Got to plug that in. Not like it's a big deal. I don't really care for RGB anyways, but best to have it plugged in. And it's best I plug it in. See, one sec here, grab some water. Again, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. And might need a plastic razor blade for this. Oh, come on, baby. Might need the plastic razor blade. These turbo pads are... Okay, brutal. Alright, so this is gonna fall off, isn't it? We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rehold this while I put some of these in it. Be a little tricky lining this up, especially if thermal pads are holding. Especially line up. Then again, you have to line up these holes here through to the holes on the cooler part in the vapor chamber. Once you have a few of them lined up, it's hold itself in place. And then we got this one. Voila. And we'll put all these screws in. Again, we have to move that. We need that to there, and we need that to there. The rest can all be put in. Small ones are for the I/O bracket. And all these can just be put in place. That's for the I/O bracket. That one doesn't need to go in. At least not yet. So it's getting about around 2.1, not exactly 2.1 gigahertz on this card at the temperature I was at. Hoping to get 2.25, maybe 2.5 gigahertz now. If I can go above that, that'd be awesome. I can go above that quite easily if it was a bit colder, but it's not cold enough. Still quite hot. It's been a warm summer. And it's been quite warm where I am. I'll get out. I need the tweezers. Yeah. I need tweezers for it. There we go. That's for the I/O bracket. So. Voila. Now it's cooler time. I'm gonna re-clean the core here. So I'll re-clean the core here. And get some thermal paste. All right. Oh, how's it going, exit? I wouldn't say torturing. She's getting a little uplift. She's getting an uplift. She's getting the boob job she's always wanted. This is my own thermal paste, by the way. Stuff I make. It's not the exact stuff I generally make, but it's a bit thicker than what it should be, but that's okay. That was all right. Plenty on there. So, the hookups, I'm not going to worry about the hookups until after the fact. Alright? What I'm going to be doing too, I'm just going to heat up the thermal paste a bit. Nothing crazy. Just to heat it up. It's a bit thicker than normal right now. Again, it's my own home brew. Works pretty good. At least I'm happy with the way it works. Dang, what a lineup. That was good. You can see that. Put some weight now onto it. Not a whole lot, just to press it down before I put the screws. Alright. Back turn until I feel that click that I want. But one full turn on these screws. What I like to start them off as. Tighten them. Tighten them slowly. I gotta take my bigger screwdriver just to check the tightness. Good. 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 Good, actually. Not bad. Generally, the little screwdriver doesn't do all that great. Yep. Yeah, do that back turn. That way you're not cross-threading anything. That's why you'll notice me doing the same thing on all these little screws, especially the high thread count per inch. You gotta be careful with cross-threading. Definitely don't cross-thread. Yeah, I'm gonna put on these screws next. I guess it's hard to show these screws, but they're there. These ones are a pain in the butt. Same thing. Back turn it. And to get the right screwdriver for this here, what you're looking for on the screwdriver is that, yeah, it's a Phillips, but it's kind of got like one of those rounded heads. It helps to be able to screw on an angle, so it's hard to show, but to screw on an angle, basically, it's nicer. I've shown in many live streams. I do take apart my graphics card twice a year and clean them up, and I do have 11 graphics cards that I do, so I generally the live streams like 5 or 6 hours of just me re-thermal pasting graphics cards. Alright. Now I'm going to hook up all the hookups for it. I use tweezers. I'm just going to lift them up into place. Pretty easy. Press them down. It's quite easy to do. That's why I say you don't really have to worry about getting them all set up beforehand, because EVGA's awesome. They set it up quite easy to take apart their graphics cards. Just moving a wire out of the way so the fan doesn't hit it. And then you gotta do the ones on this side as well. I'll show you what I'm doing. So here. Press on one side, press on the other. Some of them can be quite tight, so it's just best to put it in nicely. Voila. And I can't really show the other one, so I'll just put it in. Nice. So that should be all of them put in place now. We got the I/O bracket we got put on still. So we gotta flip it over. We got the I/O bracket. Ooh, the dusty I/O bracket. Look at that. Dusty. Grab a toothbrush and clean it up. And we're gonna take the I/O bracket, put it in place. I have to unscrew a couple screws to make it easier. A BTF card. Nope. This is the screw that you gotta hold from underneath the nut. Do you mean for the Win 3 card? FTW? Alright, so that's for these connectors here done. And I like to do the small 3 screws and then the 2 to put in the DVI. No, as far as what I know, it's like a reference style PCB. Yeah, no. Power through the Mobo itself? I didn't realize Asus even did that. Screw. This one screw doesn't want to go on the screwdriver. Go on the screwdriver. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even know. And yeah, I don't think it was a thing back 2017. If it is, power delivery through the Mobi itself. I'm pretty sure that came out in 2021. No, 2021 or 2022. Did it not? Cool. All right, so it's all back together. Let's yeah. Let's throw it in a system. Let's throw it in a system. So, yeah, all back together, blam blam, blam blam, blam blam, thank you, ma'am, kind of thing. You're gonna have to give me a minute. I'm gonna take off the power off the camera, get the camera set back up to where it should be, get it off the tripod, get things set up. It's gonna take me a second. You have to give it a hot minute here. It will have proper color here in a second. We just have to wait, be patient for a driver. Alright, we'll see what the power actually says now. We'll find out. Tune in next time. That's right, I'm gonna make you wait. Tune in next time. See what it says. Should be very low watts. Very, very low. 1 watt. Total of 3 watts. Temps look good. Cool. Voltage up. Power limit should work. Not really. Not technically 3 watts. Yeah. 3.6969 noise. We EVGA GTX 1080 Ti only using 14 watts. 14.4 watts. And that's how I like I said, that's how I like to do the no power limit mod. Again, it might not be for everyone to do no power limit mods. You don't have to go off of the 5 MOs. I do like to go shunt mod or piggyback shunt mod off of the actual controller board. And that is my way of doing it. I like 2R2s. Again, does not put the card into a limp mode. And as you can see, boom. And I'll show you with GPU-Z here. But yep, that's, I'm happy. Ooh, hot spot though, looking hot. Might have to redo the thermal paste. I'll let it run for a bit and see what kind of temps. Again, power limit does not work anymore. Power limit, see? Power limit does not work anymore. We're hitting almost 2 gigahertz, no overclock. Two 2.1. Two 126. Can we do 140? Nope. 140 says no go. And the one thing I don't like about this card is only one fan works on to it until a certain temperature, which is so dumb. Let's do that. And let's do 130. There we go. Now we're getting the fans going. That's more like it. 2.1. Yeah, as you see, the temp will drop. That's why you have to put down the temp limit on these cards for some reason. Since no power limit, I don't have to worry about it. The power limit. The power limit literally does nothing now, okay? So, like, it does nothing. You can literally see the watts, see? Doesn't do anything now. I was going Dabatron. As you can see, temps are going down. It's very hot in here still, so it's not like it's going to go down a whole lot. But yeah, it's easily doing 2.1 now, so that's good. And what I'm going to do is clear min max. You let this run for a bit. Yep. It's got no power limit mod on it now, as you can see. This is it running. We're drawing 9 watts total. .1 gigahertz. Yeah. For... We mean like the overclock? 2.125, I think it was, or 130 right now. I'm hitting. Temps are still high, so 135. Oh, the watts it uses with mod? It's 9 watts. I don't have a way to tell how much watts I'm using right now. Not sure. I don't have a wall plug for it. Okay, do 140. There's 140. No, hardware monitor now will only show it running 9 watts. 9.41 to be exact max. Because it has the no power limit mod. So it only shows a max now of 9.4 watts. Instead of the 320. That's super efficient. Yeah, it's super efficient. Yeah, no, not... It's definitely running probably around 350 watts. Not on this test, but... Oh, not that. Oops. You want Benchmate here. Alright, I have Benchmate open. So we'll leave that. We'll open this. We'll do GPU Pi here. Put down memory clock. Should be able to do 140 on this. .113. Still have more voltage to be able to use, so that's good. Still max 9.41 watts. Let's go 150 on the core. .150 on the core. We're using 1.06 volts now. Let's do 160 on the core. It's running it. Oh, there we go. 14.74 watts. That's high as I can get it to so far. What's wrong with yours? Let's do 170 on the core. What do you mean? What's the issue? Oh, that's redo the driver. Yeah, it's still a little warm. 7 points. It's like 28 right now. Yeah, I would redo the driver, see if that's gonna help it. Oof. Same thing. a second here. Test manager. So we are doing better. It's good. It's good. It's good. So what I want to do though is run this for a bit. Let the other fans kick on. Still run the card if it would still be perfect. Nice when you change value on after the value changes in GPU-Z, like the pixel fill rate. Yeah. DirectX is on an issue if you're having DirectX issue. It's odd, if you ask me. Yeah, 2.1. Just allowing it to do its thing right now. I want the temp go up. So that way thermal paste, because right now I'm using my thermal paste on it. Just want to see what kind of temp we're going to be looking at. Using almost 1.1 volts. Okay, we can do 120. Yep. 130. 135. 138. I didn't even get the click. It's just too hot. It's doing it though. Not liking it, but it's doing it. That's not what the issue would be for DirectX. Sounds like a software issue. To be honest, it does sound like a software issue. Let's do 120. So that's what it does sound like. It's not like a software issue. For about 1 minute, that's it. Yeah, I mean, it does sound like a software issue. What power supply are you using with it, though? Power supply. Connectors, have you made sure everything's plugged in right? Try a different, 2 different 8 pins. You've tried 2 different 8 pins on it. Switch out the power supply, or if you have another power supply, use the 8 pins from that power supply. Just to see. Sounds something like what happened with my 3070 Ti. You've tried it with another power supply, you sure? Temps look good. So leave it running for a little bit. Hmm. There's an odd. Yeah, I hear you. Definitely sounds like it does have an issue. It's looking good though. I'm gonna have to throw it back in my main PC to go for scores. Which my main PC I'm using right now, so. Yeah, it's definitely an issue with it for sure. I agree on that. I'm gonna see what my record is for GPU Pi. Yeah, well, have you taken apart the board and checked it over? Make sure everything looks good on it? Multimeter? GPU Pi 3, 1 bill. Yeah, you should definitely take apart 7.95. Pretty close already. The LED cable doing so. Yeah, some of them can be a real pain. That's why I like to use needle nose tweezers. Oh, so close. Gotta cool down for a second here. I mean, it'd be hard to beat my record since, surely with a 13900K, which does help. That's like so close to my record, though. Yeah, it's the RGB on it, the EVGA part of it. Oh, like we're so close to my record. The temp's way higher too. Looks like I do have voltage to spare. Like, we're talking temp after the run from my record on this, after the run was 22. I'm starting off at like 34, 33. So temp is good. I mean, this is good. This is showing me it's doing good. So let's put up that. I don't think 150 will work, but we're gonna try it. Oh yeah, they're insane. The ICX coolers on them are way beefier than what they need to be for the card. See, I let it cool down again. I mean, the ICX has dual vapor chamber. It's a dual style. It's awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a two-part vapor chamber style cooler on them. Oh, they're insane. They're insanely good coolers. Way better than what they need to be. Yeah, it's not that good. I'm happy with the performance of this. Oh, so close. Just too hot. It's doing great. It's doing so good though. Very happy. Very, very happy. Yeah, definitely was worth it. This will definitely get me first place against a water cooled card, so it's all that matters. Yeah, it's a two-part cooler on it. They're so well made, the ICX coolers on them. They're so good. So good. So good. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah. I got run anymore. I'm trying to get my room a bit cooler, and it's just warming it up more. I mean, I wish I could see how many watts I'm actually pulling. It's probably around 350, I would say. Probably around 350. Nine. About 375. Seems kind of high. I don't think you were seeing 375. Shouldn't be going that high. Give me one sec. About like 11 degrees Celsius. I could do 2.2. I'm almost at 2. I'm at 2.125 right now. And it's way hotter, so that's awesome. Even with power limit max. And they only go to like 340, I think. 345, around there. I don't think they go to 375. Even the EVGA models. Well, somehow it does have a no power limit mod. It was nice and chilly too. Yeah, I think that's around that. Just gonna see what temp it's gonna be today. Snow is supposed to get warm. Not too bad. Tonight, though, oh yeah. It's temp at night now. It's going to be a lot nicer right now. For tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, yeah. Monday, yeah. So that's good. Yeah, you could see maybe 350 watts out of it. Maybe. Rare, but I mean, probably, I would say 320 watts. That's what you're looking at. So yeah, so I'm happy. I'm happy. I am a happy. Happy. Do it, Gabby, dude. What? What? Oh, I should put the caption though. OCPC style, no power limit mod. Because no one does this power limit mod like I do it. They all do it the other way. I don't. I do it my way. I do it. Oh wait, let's run a 3D Mark 2001 SE. And power limit doesn't do anything, but for the temp limit, memory we'll do plus 350. Core we'll do like a plus 120. Let's see if we can handle it. We'll see if we can handle it. Might be able to. Yeah, not bad. It's only with the 3770K on stock settings, so it's not like it's at its full potential. It's with a 3770K at stock. Still looking pretty good. I mean, really the best cards for this benchmark is... Yeah, with the 39K. And I'll be using that tonight. We're doing that tonight. The best card for this benchmark is 980 Ti. Yeah, I'll be doing a stream. Yep. I'm probably not going to be streaming for too much longer here. It's because I'm trying to get my room cooler. Tonight's supposed to get to a really nice temperature, like right around 13 degrees Celsius out. So I'm trying to get the room cooler so that way I can do a nice little bench session. And that way I can get a really good score. I just want to beat the water-cooled 1080 Ti, the Asus Poseidon. Alright, sounds good. Yeah, and then I'll have the CPU overclocked to... I'm going to try to do 5.7 all performance core and 4.6 all E, but we'll see. Probably be like 5.7 all performance core, 4.5 all E core. So we'll see. We'll see what I do, what I can get. Like I said, I just want to beat the Zeus Poseidon that's on chilled water, and I'm on stock air. I mean, it's passing this easily. By the looks of it, it's passing it easily. And I am working on a being able to hook up an AIO. I'm just trying to make some custom brackets to use it on GPUs. So that way I don't have to use clamps and clamp it. Which technically can work. I'm working on custom clamps or custom bracket for an AIO. Looks good though. You were the one, Neo. Getting nowhere showing the potential of this card with the 3770K at stock settings. So could do a lot better. And the test is not going to be 3D Mark 2001 SE. It'll be Night Raid. And I have to be 81,000. And before Power Limit Mod, it's 79,000. Yeah. Yeah. 2000 Mark, or 3D Mark 2001 SE came out. I think it was September 2001. This is definitely not a new benchmark right here. Oh yeah, the CPU is much older. 59,000. I just want to see my score that I've gotten before. $175,000 is the best I gotten. I was with 1300K at 5.8. And GPU boost to 2.189. Zoom. Enhance. Yes, technically I only need to do game test 2 and 7, so I can rerun this. Change. I think it's just card chase I have to do. If I remember that correctly. Yeah. And let's try to do 130. Yeah, this I think the i7 3770 came out 2012 or 2013, around there, I think. 2012, yeah. 9900K, I believe. No, eighth gen. Yep. Yeah, so 8700K. I've owned 8700K. Dang good CPU for the time. Really good CPU for the time. 8700K. Still doing 59,000. Um, Barely being utilized though. 3770K. Still good. Very happy. Oh yeah. Yeah, the 8600K was good. 6-core CPU. And the 8700K, 6-core, 12 thread. Best I got my 8700K to is 5.2 gigahertz. Could have done more, but that's what I got it to. Basically at ambient air temperature right now. Yeah, 28 degrees right now in my room. It's just about there at ambient. At idle. Yeah. Yep. That's with my thermal paste that I make. My own thermal paste. Let's do display. I'm gonna zoom in a bit on this. Of course, it's not gonna make it bigger. Yeah, basically what my fan's doing. Maybe 30. Alright, there we go. Now a fan at 30. Might not even be on. Looks good though. Looks good. Sweet. So that's all the testing there. Voila. Bella. Good and happy.